Ever done something so stupid it ended with handcuffs? Okay, so like 2 years ago, I tried to prank my friend who was going through a breakup. I thought it would be funny to cheer her up with a killer clown costume, but it totally backfired. I went to a costume shop and got a scream mask, fake knife, fake blood, and a clown costume. I went to her place and she buzzed me in. I changed in the elevator, got to her floor, and noticed her door was a little open. I kicked it open and walked in, singing, "Hello, my baby," super loud. But get this, it wasn't my friend's apartment. Some lady started screaming and a dude came out of the bedroom with a hunting knife. I ran back to the elevator, changed back into my clothes, and when I got outside, there were 3 cop cars waiting. They saw the fake blood I'd missed wiping off, and one of them yelled, "What's in the bag?" I was so bummed. I thought the whole thing would be over, but nope. An officer pointed at me and yelled, "Hey, stop right there!" I froze. They came towards me looking super serious. "What's in that bag?" one of them asked sternly. I tried to explain it was just a costume, but he cut me off and told me to step away. I slowly backed away as the officer unzipped the bag. He pulled out the scream mask, fake knife, and clown costume. He looked shocked, holding each item up. "What's this all about?" another officer asked, checking out the fake blood on my clothes. "It's a prank," I blurted out. I was trying to cheer up a friend and it went wrong. I didn't mean to scare anyone. I tried to sound convincing, but they weren't buying it. The main officer said they were taking me in for questioning. I felt like I was dragging my feet to the squad car. The officers walked on either side of me, their serious faces making everything worse. I was freaking out about what might happen. What if they didn't believe me? What if this ruined my life? I couldn't believe I was in this mess because of a stupid joke. The police station was cold and unwelcoming. They took me to a small interrogation room with a metal table and hard chair. The main officer, a big guy with a frown, sat across from me and asked for my name, date of birth, and address. I answered quickly, trying not to sound nervous. He wrote everything down, looking disapproving. Another officer came in with my bag and slowly took out the scream mask, fake knife, and clown costume. They looked way scarier under the lights. "What's all this about?" he asked, holding up the mask like it was gross. "It's just a costume," I said. I was trying to cheer up a friend. It was supposed to be funny, but I didn't know anyone else would be there. The main officer looked even more doubtful. "Funny? You thought running into someone's apartment dressed like this would be a joke?" He threw the stuff back in the bag, shaking his head. "You know how this looks, right? The fake blood, the knife. This isn't just some harmless prank." I tried to stay calm, even though my heart was racing. It was a mistake. I didn't mean to scare anyone. It was just supposed to be a joke for my friend. He didn't change his expression and kept asking questions, trying to find out what I was really thinking. Each question made me feel worse. I explained my side of the story over and over, but the cops seemed more interested in blaming me than understanding what happened. Then a detective came in. He was wearing a suit and had a briefcase with papers. He introduced himself and started asking questions. He was even more intense than the first cops, really sharp, checking every little bit of my story. "We looked at the security video," he said, sounding cold. "It shows you in the costume, but not the whole story. We need to know why you thought this was a good idea." I told him again, trying to say I didn't mean any harm. I just wanted to make my friend laugh. It was supposed to be a fun surprise. I didn't know anyone else would be in the apartment. The detective wrote stuff down, but didn't seem to believe me. His questions got tougher, digging into my past. He wanted to know if I'd done anything like this before, if I ever acted without thinking. The more I talked, the more I felt like I was being watched super closely. Hours went by. Each minute felt super long. I was tired. The detective finally left to talk to the other cops, leaving me alone in the plane room. It was so quiet, and I was super worried about what would happen next. The first few days after my arrest were crazy. My lawyer, a tall, serious-looking guy, showed up to take my case. He was the only good thing happening. He started by looking at the proof and getting statements. He talked to my friend, the one I was pranking. She didn't want to get involved, but after a lot of talking, she agreed to give a statement. She explained that I planned the prank as a joke to cheer her up. She confirmed I didn't want to hurt anyone, and her statement was a big part of my defense. My lawyer also asked for the building's security video. He hoped it would show what was going on, that I didn't mean any harm, but the video was blurry and didn't show everything. The video wasn't great, and it seemed like proving I was innocent would be tough. I was stuck in a holding cell during all this. The room was small and cold, with just a bed and a toilet. I spent most of my time walking around or sitting, just worrying. I didn't know how long it would last or what would happen. Every day felt super long. My lawyer kept working on my defense. He interviewed the cops and other people who saw what happened, trying to get the full story. He wanted to show that even though my prank went wrong, I didn't mean to hurt anyone. But it felt like the cops were only focused on how dangerous it could have been, not what really happened. It felt like my lawyer was talking to a wall. Waiting for news was awful, and every day I felt more scared. The trial was a big tense show. The courtroom was packed, and everyone was waiting to see what would happen. When I walked in, I felt super anxious. The room was noisy with people talking, metal clinking, and papers shuffling. The prosecutor started first. He was a confident guy in a nice suit. He told the story in a dramatic way, making it sound like my prank was chaos. He showed photos and video, saying how scared the people in the apartment building were. "Ladies and gentlemen of the jury," the prosecutor said in a loud voice, "this is a clear case of reckless endangerment. This defendant's actions, even if he calls it a prank, were a danger to the public. He made my actions sound way worse than I meant them to be. He talked about the fake blood and scary costume like I was trying to hurt people. The prosecutor made it sound bad, and it seemed like he wanted to make an example of me. When my lawyer got his turn, he tried hard to fight back. He showed the security video, pointing out that it didn't show the whole story or what I meant to do. He said my prank was just a joke, and that the problems were an accident. My friend testified next. Her testimony was important because she explained what I was trying to do. She said the prank was just a lighthearted joke, not a dangerous act. She talked about our friendship. I just wanted to cheer her up. Even though my lawyer did his best, the courtroom was still tense. The prosecution's story had a real impact, and it felt like the jury was buying it. The judge listened carefully, but didn't seem moved by what was said. Waiting for the verdict was awful. Every second dragged as I tried to stay positive. The courtroom was filled with heavy anticipation. Finally, the judge read the verdict. My heart dropped when I heard the word guilty. The judge said that even if I didn't mean any harm, what I did could have had serious consequences, so I got 18 months inside. Starting jail life was a shock. I was put in a cell block with other prisoners, all with their own stories. The place was tough and unforgiving. The constant noise, no privacy, and strict schedule got to me. Every day was the same. Wake up early, follow the rules, do my chores. The days blurred together. I tried to stay out of sight and make the best of it. Not having any privacy and the bad environment were always stressful. I spent most of my time in my cell thinking about my mistakes and trying to be positive. The other inmates had their own problems, and things were often tense. In the common area, I sat at a long table with some other guys. The room was too bright, and the air felt thick. Most of the guys there had faces that showed they had done some pretty bad things and were doing long sentences. I felt out of place, like I didn't belong in that world. A big, tough guy with tattoos all over his arms and a scar on his cheek looked over at me. He was talking to some other guys about his time in prison, his voice loud. When the talk turned to me, he got interested. "So, what's your story?" he asked, his voice direct. I told him about the prank that got me there, how I dressed up as a killer clown to scare my friend, and how it all went wrong. The room got quiet while the other inmates listened. The man shook his head, looking both amused and annoyed. "Seriously? You're here because of some dumb clown prank? Man, you gotta be the biggest idiot ever. This place is for people who've done real time, not guys who get locked up for messing around with a costume." His words hit me hard, and the other inmates agreed. I felt like I didn't fit in with these criminals. My dumb mistake landed me in a nightmare that I couldn't handle. I learned fast that staying out of trouble and keeping quiet was the key to staying safe. One of the worst things was seeing the two people my prank had affected. They were in the same place as me, and I had to be around them during group activities and meals. It was intense, and I could see the pain and anger in their faces. They made it clear that what I did had hurt them a lot, and it reminded me that my actions have consequences. When my time was finally up, I couldn't wait to start over. Getting back into normal life was slow and hard. I focused on fixing my relationships and finding a job. My friend who had supported me the whole time helped me reconnect with people and rebuild my life. It was hard to adjust to being free. Being in jail had changed me, and I had to work hard to show people I was different. I found a job and started to rebuild my life, focusing on making good changes and staying out of trouble. The things I learned from that experience changed me. I realized how important it is to think about what might happen as a result of your actions and how they can affect others. I worked to make things right and focused on building a better future. It was a long road, but I was determined to move on and make the most of my second chance. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stories on this channel.